so he was out tonight, and I haven't heard if he's playing tonight or not.
He is in uniform, and he will play, but he is not in the starting lineup. So they may try to save him, but they don't think he'll play offense at all, and they'll use him sparingly on defense and hopefully try to give him another week's worth of rest.
It's great to see him dress out, though.
Yeah, it's a good morale booster going into these critical games to have everybody healthy, and so far, knock on wood, they've avoided serious injury, so hopefully that continues tonight.
And the Dragons just ripped through the banner. And the captains for the Dragons tonight will be number 69, Dalton Campbell, number 51, Logan Dowdy, number 22, Wyatt Hahn, and number 68, Cade Jett. And Chad, can you read for the Potosi captains?
It looks like we have number 22, Chandler Franklin. I can't really see any of the other numbers, really. It looks like we might have number 58, Dylan Wright.
And I think I also saw number 11.
Jordan Utera. And number 26, Dusty Douglas.
So we'll see how the coin toss goes and see what the Dragons will be doing at the beginning of the game.
All right, St. John comes into this game with a record of 9-1. First-year head coach Kenny Wyke at the helm. Offensive coordinator Bobby Weiler doesn't have the headsets on. You can see him trying to communicate up here. Looks like they might be calling his plays from the sideline if they don't get that problem fixed. I have a feeling we might be hearing some screaming from up top. Anybody that's watched the game close to Bobby Weiler when he's been trying to call offensive plays, you know he gets a little animated sometimes when things don't get communicated properly. So hopefully they fix that problem before the game starts. We had some pregame festivities today. We had KSDK came down for a tailgate, did some filming. So if you're interested, at 10 o'clock they do the weekly prep rally where they do some highlights from around the St. Louis area, and they highlighted the St. Genevieve schools. They were here from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then they went over to Valley. So if you're interested in watching that, that'll air probably about 10:30 tonight on KSDK Channel 5.
So it looks like St. John will be returning the ball tonight. And it looks like deep for St. John is number 13, Gabe Grimminger, and number 40, Camden Rowe.
And once again, they're putting out the sophomores to return the ball, which I think is good, just to get them that experience. And they're both smart kids. They'll know what to do with the ball, and they're fast and very agile. I think they'll do great when returning the ball tonight.
It is always great to get that experience out on that varsity field and get them kind of used to going into the varsity play.
Yeah, just like last week against New Madrid, we had a bunch of the young guys out there, a bunch of sophomores, just getting that experience and that playing time, which is valuable when you're one of those younger guys. So that was always good to see.
This game is actually a rematch from earlier in the season. We played at Potosi, I think in week 4, and the score ended up being pretty one-sided with us ending up on top, but at halftime it was a really, really shaky game. We went into halftime only up by a point, and we came back in the second half, made some adjustments, and kind of took it to them, but hopefully we come out a little crisper than we did in that game out at Potosi.
And as we're about to get the kick, Chad, can you see who's kicking for Potosi?
I think it's number 56, Ethan Rowland.
And an onside to start, and Potosi gets it.
My bad. The kicker was number 55, Kyle Osa.
Yeah, St. John's front line was not ready for that, and on top of that, one of their players dove for it, and that ball bounced straight up in the air on the second bounce. Very gratuitous bounce for Potosi.
So we'll have the St. John defense out there first. Now it looks like, and really anxious to see how they'll play tonight and see if they'll stop Potosi early and get the ball back and maybe score.
Looks like Potosi will be running under center formation.
And handed it off, and they gained a couple yards on the play, and the Dragons got them down.
Looked like the tackle was by number 69, Dalton Campbell.
Yeah, the offensive line there for Potosi had a good push. St. John's really going to have to do a better job standing up to that push and standing their ground at the line of scrimmage and letting those linebackers do their job back there.
Second down for Potosi on the 41-yard line of St. John's.
And Potosi tosses it out to number 23, who gets the first down, it looks like. 23 is Tristan Brown.
Brown had a big game against us last time we played him, so it's important that we were able to bottle him up early, get a couple shots on him. He's not a very big kid, but he's very quick, very elusive, so we need to make sure we hit him early and gang tackle once we have a hand on him.
And Potosi once again hands it off and powering their way down the field with another first down. And that handoff was given to number 5, Zach Price, who got Potosi a first down.
A little trap play there. They pulled the right side guard and ran through that one hole after a little counter step there by that back, and our defensive line and our linebackers all kind of pursued the opposite way, and they were able to cut back right into that hole. It was a pretty big hole.
And great job by the defense there. Looked like number 59, AJ Gons, got through there along with number 22, Wyatt Hahn, to put some pressure and get a tackle for minus yards.
Our defense did a really good job there, following their lanes and really filling the holes there. Great job.
Yeah, AJ did a great job coming up on contain, kept everything inside of him. He was able to make the initial contact, and then he had a lot of support come very soon. So negative play there, and that puts Potosi in a second down and long. That's not the kind of position they want to be in. They're not an offense built for big yard plays.
And handoff again to number 5, Zach Price.
Now it looks like our defense is getting in there and changing that momentum and trying to get the ball back here. Trying to hopefully get a score out of this possession.
Yeah, the defensive line has done a really good job the last 3 plays of standing up the offense and not letting them get any push down the field. So hopefully that they got those early jitters out of their system and starting to play a little stronger here.
And Potosi again handing it off. And they gained a couple yards.
Looked like the tackle was by number 51, Logan Dowdy there.
Little counter trade play there. St. John's defense gave a little bit, but they had a couple safeties back deep protecting against the pass and played it safe. It's okay to give up 5 yards there on a 3rd down and 12, and it looks like Potosi's going to come out and kick a long field goal. They kicked one from about the same distance. I think it was 37 yards at Potosi. This one's going to be about 36 yards.
I mean, watching the kicker in the pregame, it looks like he has a pretty good foot on him.
And the kick is good by number 55, Kyle Osia. And it was held by number 3, Noah Jacobson.
That's his third field goal of the year just against St. Genevieve. I'm not sure what his kicking stats are. We don't have the kicking stats in front of us, but pretty impressive to have 3 field goals in against the same team for a high school kicker. We did, as we mentioned, we had the prep rally before the game, and throughout the game we're going to give you some sponsors for that, and they were very gracious on very short notice because we only found out about that Wednesday afternoon. But one of those sponsors was Flig's Farm Equipment. In 1963, Flig's Equipment was founded as a family-owned and operated business in St. Genevieve, where it remains to this day, selling exceptional equipment such as Case IH, Hustler, Turf, Vermeer, Cub Cadet, Massey, and many more. Helping with all your farm and lawn needs, service from the time you enter the door or pick up the phone is taken to heart because at Flig's Equipment, they ask that you let our family take care of your family. Flig's Equipment, Highway 32 in St. Genevieve, online 24/7 at fligs.com. Flig's wants to tell you to go Dragons.
And the kick by Potosi going back and right under Gabe Grimminger, who picks it up and he's returning it. And is just tackled by a bunch of Trojans. And we'll get to see our Dragon offense out here now.
I believe Gabe had to pick it up there because I think it might have touched him whenever the ball went by him. So even if it would have went in the end zone, it probably wouldn't have been a touchback.
Yeah, had he not touched it, as soon as it crosses the end line, it would have been a touchback automatically. So by them not blowing the whistle, that tells us that was a fumble, or a muff anyway. But Gabe brought it back out to about the 9-yard line.
And hand it off to Anthony Rowe.
It looks like the Trojan defense is really stacking the inside and trying to really take away that run since St. John's been doing so well at the run game the past couple games.
Yeah, there's no secret about what St. John's going to try to do, and these defenses are really going to stack the box, and that outside veer is a tough play to stop even with that because you got 3 different options off the same play. So hopefully we can adjust to whatever they're seeing and get some success here early.
And a flag on the play.
Looked like our wing back there, Logan Reinhardt, flinched a little bit.
So I'll make it a 2nd and 16. Yeah, it looks like they're sending a lot of blitzers and really just trying to fill those gaps on where they think the ball's going to be going.
Yeah, they're really going to challenge St. John and try to make them beat them over the top with Wyatt Lamadier's arm. So
Wyatt gets a snap, toss, fake, and way over the intended receiver, Logan Reinhardt.
Looked like Reinhardt and Moore were running the same route there, and easy to cover two guys when they're running the same spot. So we need to make sure we clean that up. Somebody looks like they ran the wrong route there.
Looks like they kind of ran into each other there a little bit too. Kind of slowed Blake Moore down.
Seems like the Dragons need to get a little bit of momentum on their side just to get out of this slump they've been in at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, it looks like they've been a little bit sluggish at the start of this game.
Lamadere gets it, rolls out, and
Good
almost hits number 5, Dalton Giesler on the pass.
That was a great throw by Wyatt, rolling to his left, gave Dalton a chance and off his hands. It would have been a tough play, but definitely a play that Dalton has made in the past and he's capable of making. But good throw there by Wyatt, just not executed on the other end.
And St. John will be forced to punt with Wyatt Lamadere back to punt for the Dragons. We have number 22, Chandler Franklin, back to receive the punt.
That was a great punt by Wyatt.
Yeah, he almost got a 50-yard net out of that. He got about a 10-yard roll, but definitely more than what Potosi was expecting. Their deep guy was not counting on that. Another one of our sponsors today at the tailgate was Barley Automotive. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, check out Barley Automotive. Barley's is a family-owned, family-run business that has been a staple of the community for decades. For a high-quality car and high-quality service, come see us at 791 St. Genevieve Drive. We're a proud sponsor and supporter of our local schools. Go Big Green.
Potosi gets it and handed off to number 5 again, and he is stopped by the Dragon defense.
That's
Now-
it. Go ahead.
Now it looks like the Dragons defense is getting a better push now that they've got the pregame jitters out of them and really starting to get through that line and really making those good plays.
Yeah, that was that little trap, that slide trap play again, and this time Wyatt Hahn is playing defensive tackle. His guy pulled to the left side, and he was able to basically get in his hip pocket and get the running back before he was able to make his cut. And that's what you're taught as a defensive lineman to do, is get right in that guy's pocket and follow it into the backfield.
Potosi once again tosses it out, cuts back, and Wyatt Hahn almost gets him, but the Dragon defense is there again to stop him.
He did the exact same thing, same technique on that play, only that time it was a sweep, so that time his guy pulled out to the right, and again Wyatt just followed him and led him straight to the ball. So good job there by Wyatt. He's able to get there before the center of the tackle can cover for the pulling guard, and he's causing some havoc in the backfield.
He's really doing a good job of keeping the contain on the outside, making sure their quick running backs are not getting to the outside. Really making some quick key plays for the Dragon defense.
It looks like we have Brewster out there now, so that should help out the defense a little bit more. He had a couple great games that he played this year. Due to injury, he couldn't continue and play some of the games that we've previously played. He was a big loss for the defense, but looked like Austin Brewer stepped in for him in those games and came through pretty big for the Dragon defense.
Looks like they got a holding penalty on Potosi on that play, so that'll back him up 10 yards from the previous spot. So it'll be 2nd and 22.
And the Dragons stop him once more. Defense looks like they're ready to play now.
Yeah, it took a while for him to wake up, but it looks like we're back to ourselves here.
Been kind of watching the linebackers, and it seems like they're really starting to flow to the ball a little bit better. I think they're starting to see the ball a little bit better and really starting to fill those holes.
Potosi lines up. And they're passing the ball. Doesn't see anybody. Doubt he's getting through there. Forced to go. Looks like Grimminger was there to break it up a little bit.
Boy, Gabe did a really good job there initially. It looks like there is a flag on the field. I'm not sure. That's back at the line of scrimmage. They might have got him for interference, but if they did, the receiver just came back to the ball and he bumped him a little bit, but he was going for the ball. So I don't think that's going to be the call here.
And it's a holding call.
I think they're going to decline the penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 22 or 3rd and 32. So either way, Potosi's obviously in rough shape. But even if that had been called pass interference, that would have been the penalties would have offset, and we would have replayed the down.
So the penalty was declined, so it would be 4th down and 20.
We have Logan Seibel back to return the punt for the Dragons, and he's letting it go.
See if the St. John offense can get something going here.
All right, we'd also like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for their support today with the tailgate. They also were quick to come to our rescue when we needed some help. So the mission of the Chamber of Commerce is to serve as an umbrella organization striving to promote local business, arts, and education while improving the quality of life by maintaining and developing the economic and historic environment of St. Genevieve and the surrounding area. The St. Genevieve Chamber of Commerce is a proud supporter of the St. Genevieve community and the St. Genevieve School District. Good luck, Dragons.
Lamondier hands it to Rowe, who looked like he was tripped up a little bit. He was stumbling and then brought down by 68, Colby Boyer.
That was the first time they really had a lot of success with that outside veer play, so we'll see if maybe they were able to adjust after that first series based on what they were seeing from Potosi's defensive line.
It looks like Potosi is more of a passing team. They have 20 more yards on average on their passing game. So we might see a lot more passing tonight than what we usually see out of Potosi.
And Brewer got the ball in that play and was stopped.
Number 29, Austin Brewer.
Yeah, that time number 55 there for Potosi had a really good push up front, and we were unable to move him off the line of scrimmage and did a good job.
Once again, handed off to Brewer. And gains look like it'll be close to a first down. If not, it will be a first down.
Depends who does the spotting. The guy on one side was about a half-yard past the 30-yard line, and the guy on this side was about a half-yard before
Yeah.
the 30-yard line. They were about a yard off from each other, but they settled in the middle of the two spots, and they ended up with the first down.
Hopefully that first down will start to get the offense going to work their way towards the score.
Yeah, they're not in as much danger as last possession, and there's a flag out.
Flag on the play.
And that looks like Reinhardt again. That's the second time we've seen him flinch pre-snap. So that's something that's not acceptable, especially from a wide receiver. All they have to do is kind of look out there and look in. It's not important that they get a jump off the ball, and they just need to have their eyes open and not even worry about the cadence.
And we really need Reinhardt in there since he's our leading receiving wideout. So if he keeps on having those mistakes, maybe we won't see him in this game as much. That will hurt our passing game a little bit more.
Yeah, they got Skylar Ring in there now. So
Handed to Brewer once again, and great run by Austin Brewer, who gets quite a few yards on the play, and it'll be about 3 or 4 yards, I'd say.
yeah, he's
second.
very strong, and not only that, but he's very shifty as well. You saw him there. He sidestepped several people on his way to that 11-yard gain. So good play there by the Dragons.
Brewer once again with the ball.
Looks like he might have got the first down there.
Yeah, it looked like he should have got the first down.
It looks like the spotted. Yep, first down.
Yeah, the guards in the center there are doing a really good job. Gabe Harmon and Leland Hook and
Looks like Reinhardt's back in.
Kay Jett are doing a really good job up there in the center of the offensive line. So we got off to a rough start, but they got it together now.
And another flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Onside, Potosi.
Good break for the Dragons with the offsides.
Score is 3-0. Sorry, I'm the guy that's supposed to be operating the camera while I'm doing this, and I'm not doing a very good job. This is the first time I've had this role, and I'm not very good at it. Not the kids' fault, my fault.
And handed off to Anthony Rowe, who is stopped by the Trojans. It'll be second down.
Well, for those of you guys that missed it, Austin Brewer had a couple of nice runs there on the other end, and I failed epically at my job. So that'll bring up about a second down and 5 here. just in front of midfield. There's about 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the first quarter, sorry.
Hand it off again to Brewer, who has another great run and a first down for the Dragons.
Those dive plays are working really well. They're really getting some pretty good yards off of that.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of moving the ball and just hammering it in and getting those extra yards.
Yeah, the offensive line's really starting to establish themselves here, and that's what we need to see against an inferior opponent. We need to take it to them early, not give them any hope, and really take the initiative.
And hand it off to Anthony Rowe.
Yeah, the coaches were talking and were basically saying that they're going to try to establish that run game to really run down the clock, but also get some good scores and really work hard to run down that clock and just get as many scores as they can in that time.
Deer gets it and hands it off to Brewer, who's still going. And that'll be close to a first down and
Looks
maybe
like
even a first down.
Looks like it might have got a friendly spot there.
That was one of those prototypical runs by Austin. You can't ever see him in the pile. All you can see is the mob of people moving forward. So he just keeps driving it forward. Want to give a shout out to Linda Holst, who's watching, and she's says go big green and fire the camera guy. So looks like I might be out of a job.
And the Dragons get a first down that last play by Austin Brewer. And they'll give it to him again. Looked like Lomdeer might have wanted to pull that one. And I was speaking to Wyatt earlier today, and I always asked him why he never pulled the ball away and ran it for himself. And he just said, I can't ever get it back from Brewer or Rowe. It's like they got glue on their hands whenever they're running the ball.
Yeah, those two guys don't like to give it up. As much success as they have, you don't ever want to give it up. But
great job by Anthony Rowe, still breaking tackles, gets to the outside.
wow.
And that should be a touchdown for the Dragons. Anthony Rowe with a great run. Just followed Wyatt Lomdeer right through that hole and made his way outside. Great job by Anthony Rowe with 13 seconds left in the first quarter.
That was a great cutback there by Anthony after the initial get through the line of scrimmage. And
we can't forget that Anthony is a really shifty guy too. He sidestepped a couple people there and really made that touchdown by himself.
And the kick will have number 5 Dalton Giesler with number 4 Brandon Henson holding. Good snap by number 55 Nick Bowling. Seemed like last week Bowling had a couple bad snaps to Henson on the extra points and just couldn't get him to go because of the confusion. Looks like he's got it down now tonight.
I gotta give the offensive line credit too. They really started to pick up their game and really started to figure things out, really started communicating and making their block schemes work. So if they just keep that up, we'll have a pretty good matched game tonight, and hopefully we'll have more scores like that.
okay, Chad, Chad's got a computer screen right in front of him with 2 screens on it, and both of them show the screen so that they'll see the action. So if the camera does not move and Chad does not tell me, it is now his fault. Just saying that. I'm getting chastised here. My phone's blowing up.
Ooh, good word.
So now Chad is responsible. Got that, Chad?
Sure.
Good kick by Giesler for the Dragons, and Potosi will return it. And he is stopped. We got a flag on the play.
Might have looked like somebody might have came in and had a later hit than what they were supposed to. So I'm not sure what the penalty is, but it looked like it might have been a late hit.
Great job by the Dragons to get downfield quickly and get the tackle and get that stop so it doesn't leave Potosi with much to start with. They'll have a ways to go if they want to score on this drive.
Personal foul against St. Genevieve.
Apparently I missed the touchdown run too, but I'm pretty sure you guys saw the original cutback by Anthony that eluded the first defender just past the line of scrimmage, and after that he was just off to the races. So you didn't really miss much. You got the good part of the run.
It looks like Potosi's offense is not afraid to throw those trick plays in there. They're throwing a lot of counters in there and really trying to get some pretty good running yards off their drives.
Again, good push there by the defensive line of St. Genevieve.
And that will be the end of the first quarter with the Dragons with 7 and Potosi with 3. So hopefully the Dragons can keep it up and keep scoring.
And hopefully Chad can do a better job in the second quarter with the camera. Okay, another sponsor we had tonight for the festivities for the game was Jay's Laundry and Linen. Jay's offers dry cleaning and laundry services, coin laundromat, linen rentals for weddings or graduation parties, locally owned and operated. They are located at 1 Balzer Drive in St. Genevieve. They're a proud supporter of St. Genevieve High School. Good luck to the football and cross-country teams as they carry on in their state tournament runs. Go Dragons. And that's an important thing there in that ad. The cross-country team is in action tomorrow for their district competition, and that'll be boys and girls. Girls ranked number 1 in state, boys ranked number 3. So they're looking to bring home some hardware from there, and from there they will go to Jefferson City next week on November 7th to run in their state meet. So their season is winding down as well, and a lot of great athletes on those 2 teams.
We got Potosi handing the ball off once again and stopped by the Dragons. Oh, it looks like there's a fumble.
Looked like they marked his forward progress stopped. There's no blue beanbags out on the field, so there will be no fumble.
Great job by the defense to stop the running back there and just get it just for no gain.
These 2 offenses have a lot of similarities as far as how their formations look and so forth. So,
and Potosi's quarterback rolls out. And that's a caught pass by number 22, Chandler Franklin. Great play by Potosi. Looks like Brandon Henson was there just to get 22 down.
that's a great catch. You guys at home see that? Chad didn't move the camera again.
And number 11 pulls it and is still going. And stopped by number 16, Luke Brewster, and number 51, Logan Dowdy.
It looked like Luke Brewster popped up with the ball there. I don't know if there was a fumble and they just didn't catch it, or...
Yeah, Brewster popped up and he was pointing like he wanted to go the other way. So it kind of makes you wonder if something did happen on the tackle.
Yeah, that's the second time this possession that Potosi's lost the ball, but they claim that it's either been whistled down or forward progress stopped. So hopefully we can catch a break or 2 here coming up.
Potosi hands it off. And the stop, number 56, Morgan Shank with the stop.
You laid a pretty good hit on him there. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Morgan's been a key player to our defense all year long, and he's just gotten better and better as it goes. And that's a big man when you see him walking in the hallways. He's about 6'4", 6'3", 6'4" in stature, and just a big, wide body as well.
He's really good at disrupting that that offensive backfield. Really gets back there as quick as he can.
And Potosi hands it off to 28, Kyle Allison, who has a good run to give Potosi a first down.
28, Kyle Ellison. Tackle made by number 16, Luke Brewster.
Looks like 22, Wyatt Hahn will be coming in for Brewster. And Wyatt Hahn has really impressed me this season with being as small as he is. He's not very tall. He's pretty strong for how short he is, but he's so quick off the snap, and he gets around the lineman and makes quite a few stops during a game.
There's like a dive play there.
Yeah, they're running a lot of that same stuff that we run with the. They're running the inside veer, we're running the outside veer, but other than that, it's pretty much the same stuff, and it's tough for defense because you got to cover so many different options, and it's all about assignment football and staying disciplined. So hopefully we can clean some things up. This is one of the hardest things as a defensive coach to prepare against. This triple option type attack.
Once again, handed off.
It's so hard to stop those dive plays because basically it's guaranteed a couple yards every single carry. Just so how fast it is and how, like, if the linemen get a really good push off the ball, and I mean you already basically got 2 yards, so it's a really effective offense to run.
Third down.
Yeah, and it's all about using the snap count to your advantage because you know the snap count defense doesn't. So if you're able to get off that ball just a split second sooner than the defense, and you got a pretty large advantage.
And it looks like the Dragons can stop them that time.
They didn't get 2 or 3 that time. Boy, they stepped up. There were several guys that were there and anticipated the snap count, and not just linemen, but also linebackers looked like they were blitzing. Austin Brewer was blitzing on that play. Ran right to the hole.
Looks like it might be 4th and 2. And I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, this would be about a 37-yard field goal. Again, just about a yard deeper than what it was earlier, but it looks like you got it. It looks like they're going to go ahead and go for it here.
And let's see what Potosi can do. Let's see if our Dragon defense can stop them. And it's a toss. It's number 5 who's going and gets the first down.
Looks like he got inside the 10 there.
Boy, he was quick. He got to that hole quick and cut it up inside that tackle tight end hole, and he looked like he had maybe 1 or 2 people touch his ankles, but was able to avoid contact with his upper body, and he took it for a pretty good gain.
So it'll be 1st and goal for the Potosi offense on the 9-yard line.
And the quarterback, number 11, tries rolling out and running with the ball, and the defense is there to stop him. Looked like it was Wyatt Hahn there to stop him.
I think you're going to see a lot more from the St. John defense of them trying to pinch a little bit and take away that dive play and make that quarterback keep it and possibly pitch it and take our chances with him running the ball as opposed to those quick, shifty running backs and that bruiser that they got up the middle all the time.
And Potosi taking a little while to get their play call. Got 5 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to take a timeout.
Timeout, Potosi.
My wife just texted me, and she's giving a shout out to the boys, saying they're doing a great job, and which they are. And she also says I'm fired. I don't know if it's because she wants me home more often. Probably not. But again, I apologize for my lack of cameraing skills, but we're getting better, I think. All right, another sponsor today was his LJCs. The LJCs have done so many great things in volunteering both manpower and financial support for so many projects in our community, from their continuing help to their continuing help of the disadvantaged, the raising and donating of funds to worthwhile causes and families in times of need, and their ongoing support for our local schools. The LJCs are a model organization and continue to lead by example. Good luck tonight, Dragons. And the LJCs are always so gracious to us anytime we need anything for any sort of curricular event or some benefit for a kid that has an unfortunate situation in their lives. They're always one of the first to come to our aid and help us out. So all you LJC members, we appreciate you and thank you for all that you do for our school.
And Potosi coming back out on offense. Let's see what they can do. Got 15 seconds on the play clock.
He had him open there, but overshot him out the back corner in the end zone. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal from about the 7-yard line.
It looks like Potosi likes to run a bunch of play action passes and trying to get our defense to come up for the run and throw it over the top of us.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed is they like to stay on schedule early in the downs. 1st and 2nd down, they like to run, but they don't stick with it too much if they get in a situation where they're in 3rd or 4th down. So, and as I say that, they come with a counter tray and stuff there. Backside end did a really good job. A.J. Gahn stayed at home, forced everything back inside, and allowed the inside linebacker, or allowed Morgan Schenk to come all the way from the backside to make that play. Wow, he came all the way across the line of scrimmage.
He tracks the plays everywhere he goes and gets the tackles on the backside. Lots of times if AJ contains the sides and gets the running back to come back.
Okay, so it looks like they're going to bring back their kicker, Osea, and try for yet another field goal. This would be 24 yards. And we got a flag, I believe.
Looks like it might be a delayed game.
So that'll turn that from a 24-yarder into a 29-yarder, and this guy's proven he can make it, but not making it easy on him.
And Potosi hits it, and that was a good kick, and it's good. With 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter.
Man, this guy is booming them through, too. They're not even close. We'd also like to thank LaWast North America. LaWast is proud to be a part of the St. Genevieve community and just as proud to be a supporter of education in our local schools. An investment in our kids is an investment in our future. Good luck to our football and cross-country teams and athletes as they progress in their state tournaments. Go Dragons. So many great businesses here in this community. They just, like we talked about earlier, they always come to our aid whenever we need anything, and they're more than willing to lend a hand with a lot of things, and we just appreciate all that we get in terms of not just financial support, but just overall moral support throughout the community. So thank you to all our local businesses that helped out, and to all the local businesses that do so much for our kids on a daily basis.
And Potosi ready to kick. He just booted that down, and they just let it go. Wasn't much Grimminger or Rowe could do on that kick. He just kicked it so low and it just took off and started rolling.
Yeah, that was a line drive that just kind of split them.
It was also a good decision by him to let that go too, because that just gives them good field position from the 20-yard line instead of being deep in their territory around the 10-yard line. So That's a good job by the returnman.
And handed off to 31, Anthony Rowe, who spins his way out of one tackle, and he's taken down. Great run by Anthony Rowe.
It's a staple of the Coach Weiler offense right there, the little G-sweep action, and pull that play side guard and kick out the end and block down with the tackle, and did a well-executed play there. And Anthony did a good job hitting the hole and fighting for a few extra yards.
It looks like whenever they do those sweeps that since Wyatt's so fast that they have him roll out too and become an extra lead blocker, so they actually have guard pulling and 2 lead blockers from the backfield going out for the sweep. So that also helps with going on the outside with those extra blockers.
That was Rowe that time. They came back with a slide trap following up that sweep and got a couple yards, but that'll bring up about a 3rd and 3.
Looks like a belly there. It looks like they got a couple yards off that play.
Yeah, it was handed off to Austin Brewer, who did a great job getting it up the field a little bit. Just can't get the first down.
Looks like they're keeping their offense on the field, but Wyatt is their punter, so they are in a punt deep formation.
And
Wyatt's going to take off, and
Blake Moore can't come down with it.
Pass incomplete will be chance of possession. First down, Potosi. Ball will be on.
And Chad messed up the camera again, so I apologize.
People are going to hate me, Mr. Swice.
Chad's doing a great job up here. I, however, not too much. I was on a roll. I was like 10 plays in.
Yeah, you're doing good.
All right, so Potosi takes over on downs here, 1st and 10 from their from St. Jen's 28-yard line.
Oh, looks like fumbled snap.
Oh, looks like there's a flag.
Should be St. Jen's ball.
Oh, I saw something thrown in there. I thought it was a flag.
Yeah, he threw his beanbag. That's a break.
That's a quick change right there.
Yeah, after that drop ball there by Blake Moore on the little fake punt attempt, they come back in great field position and cough it up, and St. John takes over right where they were before. So
yeah, it's just what the Dragons needed at that moment. They needed Potosi to make a mistake, and they happened to fumble that snap, and now the Dragons are on their way again.
See if the Dragons can pull something together before the half ends.
Yeah, we're at about 3 minutes left. This has been a very quick moving half. Both these teams running the ball a lot. Wyatt back to pass now.
It's deep to Logan Reinhardt. Just not quick enough. It was a deep ball by Wyatt Homandier.
That was about a 45-yard pass, but that was also at an angle, so that could have been close to a 50-yard pass there.
Yeah, he really got that one downfield, and Logan Reinhardt was wide open. If he would have came down with that catch, he would have been gone. Hands it to Brewer, gets himself to the outside.
This is the kind of run we've seen him make all year.
Great job by Austin Brewer to break away and get to the outside. And it looked like he was trying to fake out the defender there and gets it to about the 50-yard line.
Does that one thing you notice about Austin Brewer is it takes more than one guy just to bring him down. He never goes down with one guy. There's always going to have to be a gang tackle to bring him down.
And it's handed off to Rowe.
That time Wyatt kept it.
Carrying the ball that time, number 11, Wyatt Lothman-Deer. It'll be 2nd down 9.
Got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the second quarter, so no reason to hurry. They've got all 3 of their timeouts left. So the idea here is to eat as much of the clock up as you can and still try to get the ball in the end zone.
And handed off to Brewer. Just making his way downfield.
Looks like he might have got picked up about 6 yards on that play.
Let's see what the Dragons can do with about 2 minutes left in the second quarter. And it goes to Anthony Rowe, who gets himself to the outside and still going. And he is in. Great run by Anthony Rowe.
I tell you what, he's just so deceptively fast. He looks like a guy that just lumbers, and then you see him outrunning people. It's odd because when you watch him, he just doesn't look like he's that fast. But
I mean, he followed his blockers and gave them time to make those key blocks, and then once those blockers made those blocks, he took off.
And Anthony's just one of those guys where you think he's just going to be all muscle and just power his way through, but once he gets to the outside, he shows off his speed, and it's tremendous how much speed he has. And Dalton Giesler gets the extra point. It'll be 14-6 with the Dragons on top with 1:50 left in the second quarter.
Looks like the Dragons have picked it up this second half, and the second quarter, and really starting to figure things out and pull stuff together for the rest of this game, hopefully.
okay, real quickly, I'm going to bring another sponsor in here from earlier today, and that was Global Green Insurance. Kelly Langenecker with Global Green Insurance has over 20 A+ rated insurance companies to find you the best rates for personal insurance needs. See what a broker can do for you. Call Kelly Langenecker at 636-575-2944 for a no-obligation quote for your insurance needs. Home, auto, boat, campers, motorcycle, ATV renters. Low down payments, SR22s, multi-policy discounts. And Kelly says, go Dragons.
And we'll have Dalton Giesler kicking for the Dragons. Good kick by Giesler. Potosi returning. Oh, and it looks like a fumble.
That was a huge collision there.
Looked like he tried hurdling one guy, and looked like Logan Dowdy just finished him off.
Yeah, Bryce Boner got that hit, and he has been an animal on kickoff team all year. And he's one of those kids, and he knows his role, and he takes special teams about as serious as anyone on the team, and he's really shined this year in that area.
Yeah, Coach puts him at that really key spot of killer position, and he just goes straight to the ball, and he gets down there so quick and makes those key hits. And as you can see, once he makes those key hits, sometimes things happen and gets our offense back the ball. Looks like our offense will be running a shotgun formation, trips right.
Snaps a little low there by Leland Hook. Picked up by Wyatt, and passes dropped there by Anthony. Sorry, Trevor, I took your job.
Hey, you're all right.
I'm switching roles here, and I'm obviously not doing a very good job at it.
Yeah, you got to do something right tonight because you're getting a lot not good compliments for the camera tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Swice. It isn't Chad's fault.
Now let's see what the Dragons will do again after coming off that drop pass by Anthony Rowe. And looks about like the same snap, but Lamondier hands it to Brewer, who gains a few yards.
Yeah, Leland Hook's got to do a better job with those snaps. It's kind of messing up the timing of those plays, and it makes it tough on Wyatt to have to secure the ball and get the handoff in place.
There's about 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the second quarter.
Looks like Brewers moving over to Lomdier's left side, and Lomdier rolls out to his left and dropped again by Dalton Giesler.
Yeah, the St. John receivers are kind of taking their turns at dropping balls here tonight. Wyatt's not getting a lot of help at the quarterback position, but this is definitely a four down scenario here inside your own 30-yard line.
So the offense is going to go for it. We got 7 to go to get a first down.
Lomdier passes, and Reinhardt drops it this time.
Well, we said they were taking turns, and that was, I think, the 5th different receiver that's had a drop here in the first half. So
Yeah, you sure weren't lying when you said they were taking turns. We got a minute left in the second quarter, and Potosi will have the ball.
shout out to Adam Schwint. This is the younger Adam Schwint, the one that graduated in 2012. He just messaged me and told me that I should not be fired. So apparently he's only listening and not watching.
So it looks like the Potosi offense is going to have to work quickly if they want to get a score in by the end of the second quarter.
And Potosi, their running backs are really showing up to play tonight, as that was number 26, Dusty Douglas, on the run, or number 28, Kyle Allison.
Yeah, that was a good run there, and he got a first down, which stops the clock until the chains are set. So big play there. Potosi's got 2 timeouts left, but there is only 50 seconds left. They got a long way to go. So need a guard against a big play here. Nothing behind you if you're a defensive back.
And tossed out, and the Dragons got the stop.
Let's see if Potosi uses timeout here. It looks like they're going to.
Getting the ball at time number 5, Zach Price, tackled by number 87, Levi Don. The second down over the 40-yard line. Timeout.
Brendan Dallas, graduated 2013. He is trying to get me fired. So it's kind of nip and tuck right now. I'm about half and half. So
Well, maybe when the Dragons go in and change some stuff up for halftime, maybe you'll do the same thing.
make some halftime adjustments. I'll be fine. Brendan Dallas, there's your mom and Mrs. Drury there. They wanted to say hi to you. Thanks for tuning in. Now Mom says hit the books.
So you got to be expecting a big play here since there's only 36 seconds left.
Looks like a pass, and incomplete.
It looked like they tried a little quick out pass there, get to the sideline, get a few yards, get out of bounds, and not very well executed there.
Looks like either there was miscommunication or the receiver ran the wrong route, but looked like the receiver was running a deep route, and I guess the quarterback thought that he was going to run a quick little out for a first down, but ended up not playing out the way they wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't look real crisp. Somebody was on their own page on that play. So that brings up a 3rd and 10 here.
And rolling out again, and it's caught.
And that's caught inbound, so that'll keep the clock running. I doubt Potosi uses a timeout here with 4th down situation, but it looks like St. Jen is going to take a timeout. I was wondering if they were going to do that. So that'll stop the clock. That'll force Potosi into a situation where they're either going to have to punt away or give the ball back to St. Genevieve if they don't make it on 4th down inside Potosi territory. So you would think that they'd probably punt here, and we'll see if St. Jen tries to come after that punt and block it.
Seems like the Dragon defense has really improved throughout the game from the beginning to now. They've really got a lot more stops, and they're more motivated, I think, tonight.
I think they're just starting to realize that they need to – it's going to be a physical game, and once they start getting more physical with the other team, it's going to start working their way. So hopefully they continue to be physical and work hard and get in there and stop the Potosi offense.
Yeah, this time of year it's always critical to come out with extreme focus when it's one and done, and if you lose, you're done. You need to make sure that you come out and take it to them, and they didn't do that tonight. So hopefully we can make a few adjustments in the second half and fix those mistakes.
Looks like Brewster was back to return, and he kind of stumbled once he caught it.
Hopefully that doesn't hurt his hip that he's been struggling with. It kind of looked like he's Looks like he's kind of running off the field a little weird right now.
Yeah, he looked like he was trying to cut back, and whenever he did that, he kind of slipped, and it didn't look so good.
It looks like he might have been grabbing or his hip again, so hopefully it's not anything serious, and hopefully he's still okay.
With 15 seconds left in the second quarter, St. John will just take a knee. And going into the half is 14-6 with the Dragons on top.
That'll be the end of the first half with the score of St. John's 14, Potosi 6.
All right, so not a great first half for St. John, but they are on top on the scoreboard. And as St. John band gets ready, I want to read you a couple more sponsors that helped us out today, and one of those is Midwest Marketing. Midwest Marketing offers screen prints and embroidery service, as well as having a lot of in-stock merchandise to choose from to support your local schools or youth sports programs. Whether you are looking for something custom or looking to fill a bulk order, Midwest Marketing can get it done. Give us a call at 483-2577 or come see us right off of Highway 61 in Bloomsdale. Ask for Jamie Fowler, Amanda Schwinn, or Jessica Palmer. We are proud supporters of our local schools, and go Dragons. Also sponsoring us this evening is St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital. We understand how overwhelming it is to be a patient in any hospital, but we'd like to make you and your family members stay here as comfortable as possible and get back to being healthier. All of us St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital, all of us at St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital, physicians, staff, and volunteers, are dedicated to providing you with an atmosphere of comfort, personable care, and trust. We are proud supporters of St. Genevieve School District and wish the best for all the student athletes this year. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and at this time we're going to take you down to the SGHS band, and we'll let you listen in.
Will be south, straight up the driveway out here in the parking lot. Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the field, please welcome your St. Genevieve High School Marching Dragons. Band is under direction of John Mooney with percussion instructor Nathan Kingery and color guard instructor Audra Kingery. The band will be performing their 2015 competition show entitled Songs for Mother Earth. Drum majors Sean Beck, Debbie Robinson, and Austin Caldwell. Is the band ready? You may take the field for tonight's performance. Let's hear it for your St. Genevieve High School marching dragons.
And great job by the band tonight. Really all dressed up in their Halloween costumes. We had, what was it, Halloween costume dressed up day today at school.
Yeah, celebrated Red Ribbon Week this week and had a lot of spirited outfits throughout the course of the week, and it was capped off by a Halloween night, obviously with Halloween being tomorrow. But capped off today by Halloween dress-up day. Kids did some good things, and it was interesting day to say the least in the halls of St. Genevieve High School. I am in the process of trying to pull up the stats, but as would be the case with technology most of the time, it doesn't seem to work quite right. So I do know that the first contest these two teams meet, it was a 1-point game at half. Today it's 14-6. So that game, I believe, was 7-6 at halftime. We ended up winning the game 41-19, so we ran away with it in the second half. And one of the adjustments they made that game at halftime was to kind of take that veer and add that extra option on the end, and Wyatt broke a couple big runs by keeping the ball. So we'll see if they try to execute that again and kind of take that veer out to the next level and get Wyatt on the perimeter. I thought I had the stats there for a minute, and I still don't. I do know that they've probably thrown the ball 7 or 8 times, and they've had at least 5 drops, and I think each receiver has taken their turn with one. So hopefully we can shore that up, and that would have been a different half had our receivers been able to execute and catch the ball. We have the district cross country meet tomorrow. We just want to remind you of that. That's at Dexter. I think the girls run at 11:30 and the boys run at 12:30. We'll keep you up to date on that through social media. But we're expecting that the girls get there. Of course, you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, but the boys, I know, are really hoping and have been working towards finishing in the top 2 so that they can qualify in state as well. So just to give a little recognition to some of those kids. I know the boys, we've got Ben Nagger, who's been ranked right at the top in state all year. We've got Skylar and Nathaniel Ogden. Skylar's our number 2 runner. Nathaniel's our number 3 runner. We've got Camden Sadler, a freshman, who's come in and done a really nice job this year. We got Max Upchurch, a sophomore, who's done a good job as well. And then we have Jesse Pinkley, another freshman that's really pushing Camden for that number 5 spot, or pushing Max for the number 5 spot, the top 5 runners place. So we've got all underclassmen in that group. So not only do we expect big things from them this week at districts and next week at state, but they'll all be coming back next year as well. So that program is obviously in really good shape. And obviously we have the girls, and everybody's heard a lot about the girls. We've got Taylor Werner, an all-world high school cross-country runner. And she signed a letter of intent and has committed to Arkansas to run at Fayetteville and be a Razorback. So we're excited for her. And behind her, our number 2 runner in that team is Maya German, and she's also committed to be a Division I cross country runner, and she'll be going to Toledo to participate in the MAC cross country season. And we wish her well as she goes on to Ohio And then we also have some other seniors on that team. We got Mallory Kohler, we got Amy Hook. Both of those have finished all-state in the last couple of years. We've got Sarah Moore, a freshman. We got Nicole Upchurch, a senior. So we're stacked and ready to roll in that area next week or tomorrow when the girls kick off their race at 11:30. So, like we said, we'll keep you posted on that, and we'll let you know how all that pans out. What do you guys expect to see here in the second half of this game?
Well, first off, I expect to see the Dragons come out a little more hot than what they did at the beginning of the game. I think they'll be a little more motivated to put some more points on the board, and I think they're going to want this win a little more than Potosi. Just playing on their home field's a big advantage, and that's about all I can think of right now. Chad, what do you think?
I think that they're going to try and do their best to get the Potosi offense to get a 4 and out and 4 and out, and trying to get the ball back as quickly as they can so they can run down the time and make sure that they don't score and continue to work the ball down. The Dragons offense will hopefully continue to work the ball down the field and continue to score and really start to put a distance in between the scores.
Yeah, I kind of look for Potosi to maybe bring that safety. They've been playing a deep safety look and zone coverage behind it. I think with the struggles that we've had in the passing game, especially with our receivers not being able to catch the ball, I think we might see a little more man coverage and a lot more attacking of the linebackers, trying to really shut that outside veer off at the pass, and like we kind of talked about just a minute ago, make Wyatt keep it and make him beat him with their legs, which he's proven he can do, because he did it. He had 2 40-plus yard carries against Potosi the last time we played him. So, but I think if you're Potosi, you go in, you get the ball first. If you don't score, you're down a possession. I think defensively you've got to change your mindset and not let them kind of milk the clock and just push you down the field 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. So we'll see how all that plays out, and we'll see what kind of adjustments we make defensively. I think we started playing a lot better. Our defensive line was standing up to them a little more in the second half, or in the second quarter. So hopefully that continues.
Yeah, I've been kind of noticing on Potosi's defensive side, they're at the beginning of the game they were blitzing a lot and really trying to fill those holes, and looked like towards the end of the second quarter or the mid of the second quarter, they started to really pull those guys back and play it more normally, and I think that kind of made a difference, because it allowed our running backs to run those dives and get those good yards and really make them play in, and then we went with the sweeps, so it kind of allowed our offensive running style to really increase and go towards a new variety and really to work better for our offense.
Yeah, and I am really curious about how our offense will react to Potosi's defense this half. Maybe they will do a little more passing, just because Potosi might try to make them do a little more, or make Wyatt run, like you said, Mr. Schweiss. And I'm also anxious to see how our defense will play this half. Maybe they'll make a little more big stops, get the team pumped, and get some momentum going on their way on defense.
Yeah, I'm not able to pull these stats up right now. I apologize, but I know Anthony looks like he's got right at 100 yards, 98 yards on 10 carries. So he's averaging almost 10 yards a carry. Of course, a lot of that is that big run that he had, about a 43-yarder, I believe. Austin Brewer looks like he's over 70 yards here in the first half. So those two guys are the workhorses. We don't really have any yards other than those two guys. Wyatt's got a few yards on the ground, but I can't pull the passing stats up, but I'm pretty sure that we haven't had a completion tonight. So you guys remember any completions?
Not that I can think of.
I know we've had at least 7 attempts, and I don't think we've completed any of them, but at least 5 of them have been catchable. There was one to Logan Giesler on a corner route that was probably catchable as well. So I mean, you could argue that 6 out of the 7 balls, even though Wyatt doesn't have a completion, could have been caught. So tough night for Wyatt for that reason, but we're getting ready to start the second half, and hopefully we come out with a little more intensity here.
And Potosi receiving the kickoff to start the second half and had a pretty good run. Gained quite a bit of yards to get the Potosi offense started in a good position.
And my commitment to you guys is to operate the camera, and I'll let these guys work a little more here in the second half, and I'll try to keep the camera focused. Sorry about that.
Hopefully our defense comes out nice and strong here and makes sure that they try to stop the Potosi offense as quickly as they can.
Just like that, Morgan Shank is there to be able to hold number 5 Zach Price in the backfield, and the rest of the defense is there to make the stop.
I'm always surprised about the Dragons defense is how good they are at gang tackling and really getting in there and making sure that running back does not break away.
Yeah, they really fly to the ball and gang tackle as good as anybody, and that's just a measure of heart and want to, and you preach play to the whistle, and you know, this team really exemplifies that.
And everyone on the defensive side wants a tackle. They all want the tackles, and they get in there because they know that it also helps the team, but it also could give them a chance to get that tackle.
And Potosi there just passed it to number 22, Chandler Franklin, who runs out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 10, looks like, for the Trojans.
Looks like Potosi's kind of coming out a little slower than what they were the first half.
Yeah, Potosi in the first half came out, and they were just hammering the ball through the line, and they were just doing a great job. And on that play there, Gabe Grimminger just breaks up that pass. Great job by the sophomore.
Yeah, Gabe was in great position there. He actually became the receiver, and the receiver became the defender there because he was in such good position. So good job there by Gabe.
It looks like we'll have number 16, Luke Brewster, back to receive the punt from Potosi.
Great punt.
And Brewster's there. And he's breaking away, and he's taken down around the 50 to, yeah, about the 50-yard line. Brewster is one of those kids that he's really small, but very, very shifty when he's out on the field. He can cut back and just cuts on a dime whenever he's out there. It's quite impressive to watch him run the ball.
He's so quick, so he can go from 0 to he can just accelerate so quickly that it's so hard to really judge where he's going to be because he just accelerates so quickly.
It's good use of the word accelerate, Chad.
It's handed off to Austin Brewer. Gains a few yards for the Dragons.
Made by number 52, Jake Knapp. Second down.
Be about 2nd and 7. Toss to Anthony Rowe. He's taken down, gain of about 1, it looked like.
I got to give a little credit here to Potosi's defense. They're playing really hard, and you know, this is a do or die game for them as well. And you know, nobody expects them to win this game, but they are really they're leaving it out on the field tonight. They're flying to the ball, and hats off to them for putting forth an effort when you know the deck's stacked against them and nobody expects them to be in this position. But it's still a one-possession game, so.
Lomdeer gets the snap, and he's taken off with it on his own. He's getting to the outside, and he's taken down, but he gets the first down. Great run by Wyatt on that play.
Yeah, and that was a called run there. back instead of taking that fake, busted out in front of him as the lead blocker. And I thought maybe Coach Weiler might look to that play a little bit here in the second half just to try to get a little more explosiveness out of their offense.
And give it to Anthony Rowe, who spins out of one tackle but is then taken down. And like you were saying, Mr. Schweiss, Potosi's defense is doing a great job at stopping Brewer and Rowe a little more than teams in the past. Normally you see Austin and Anthony really get away and they start breaking a bunch of tackles and then they're gone. And tonight Potosi's really stopping them, and they're all kind of teaming up on them to stop them, just like that play right there. Brewer gained about 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah, and you say that, and they're both pushing 100 yards, but I know exactly what you mean, because usually those yards come in big chunks, and tonight they've had to work for everything they've gotten tonight. Outside of that one long run by Anthony in the first half, everything's been, you know, between 2 and 10 yards at a pop. There haven't been any big breakaways. So, again, hats off to Potosi's defense for gang tackling and not letting those guys break through.
And Rowe gets the handoff.
Just like you were saying, Mr. Schweiss, it looks like they're bringing that safety up a little bit further because of our passing troubles, and really starting to play for that run a little bit more.
And Rowe gets the first down the previous play. Anthony Rowe again with the run. Anthony gained about 8 on the play.
Yeah, that was one of the best runs we've seen so far in this half. So those holes are getting a little bit bigger, and this type of offense really starts to wear on you this time of the game. So we'll see if they can keep pushing on here.
Given to Brewer, who's taken down almost right away.
Still going to be pretty close to the first down, I think. Just short. I think they mark him. The way they have the chain set right now, he's about a half a yard short. So big third down coming up here.
Potosi's defensive line is doing a really good job of getting through our blockers and bringing down our running backs so they can get a good gain.
Yeah, they're using their hands really well, and they're able to shed those blocks at the line of scrimmage. And our backs are pushing them back 2 or 3 yards, but you know, they're, like we said, they're keeping them from getting that big play.
We just had Anthony Rowe run the ball to get the first down for the Dragons.
So the Dragons will have a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line.
This will be a big score here if we can put it in the end zone here at the beginning of the second half.
And toss to Austin Brewer, and great job following Wyatt Lomdier through the hole and getting the score for the for the Dragons.
That was an awesome job there, reading blocks. Good job by the offensive line opening that hole. As you said, Wyatt pitched the ball and led up through the hole, and Austin just read those blocks perfectly, and he really never even got touched. He shifted about 3 different times, and 9 yards, never got really threatened to be tackled there.
Good kick by Giesler. It's good. It's 21-6 with the Dragons on top with 6:55 left in the third quarter.
And for the record, I don't think you guys missed a play, those of you watching at home. So we're improving. I'm improving. These guys are fine. They didn't need improvement. But one more sponsor here tonight that helped us with everything before the game, and that's Bloomsdale Excavating. BE is a proud supporter of our local schools. They have been growing with teamwork, integrity, and performance since 1946. Congratulations to all the fall student athletes on tremendous seasons, and good luck to the cross-country teams and athletes, as well as the football teams and athletes going forward in their state tournaments. That's a good point there, because not only do we have those 2 teams in the fall, but we also had softball and volleyball. So congratulations to all those ladies on those 2 sports. Volleyball just missed a chance to go to sectionals. They played the #1 team in the state tooth and nail, and unfortunately they came out on the losing end, but they have nothing to be ashamed of. They were fun to watch this year, and they won 24 games and only lost 5 all season. So good job to Coach Hess and all those girls.
And great job by number 60, Nick Robinson, to get the tackle on the kickoff.
Senior ball at time, number 31, Melvin Courtney.
And let's see what the Dragon defense can do on Potosi's drive.
I want to give a lot of credit to that defensive line. They really stepped up in that first half. After that first drive where they gave up quite a few yards, they played really well in the second part of that half. It's a little reverse there.
And great job. Looked like the tackle was made by number 56, Morgan Shank.
Morgan made the tackle, but Anthony definitely did his job in forcing that play back in, allowing Morgan to have a chance to make that tackle. But Anthony stepped across as an outside linebacker, is what you're taught to do, didn't chase down the play from the backside, and stayed at home and forced that running back to cut up before he wanted to, and right into the arms of big number 56.
It'll be good for the defenses if they get a 3 and out on this drive and really see if they can put another score in to really improve that distance.
And Potosi's quarterback will take off with it, and he is stopped. Great job by the defense once again, getting the stop.
Yeah, that time it was A.J. Gons there on stringing it out, playing to contain, and waiting for his teammates to come help him out and make that tackle. But good play, good perimeter defensive play here by St. John at the start of this drive.
And it looks like Potosi's going to pass. Quarterback's getting some pressure, gets in, it's caught, and taken down by Gabe Grimminger.
Yeah, that was a tough play. They had the quarterback came in back there, had a couple shots at him and weren't able to bring him down, and tough completion there, but good catch there by Potosi receiver.
And I think the Dragons defense can afford that because since they are up by 2 possessions, they can allow that short pass instead of giving up the really long passes. So as long as they just keep the Potosi Trojans from scoring, they should be fine.
And great job by Austin Brewer and Logan Seibel to get that tackle.
Yeah, just when I was commenting about the defensive perimeter play, Anthony kind of lost contain there. I think he's claiming to the coaches that he was held a little bit, which he may have been, but he's a strong enough kid. He needs to fight through that, use his arms to rip those hands off his shoulder pads, and he needs to keep that play inside of him.
And there's a flag on the play.
Oh, there's another flag.
Yep.
Looked like it might have been a late hit.
Yeah, I think there was a pretty good acting job there by number 28. He's been getting a little chippy and mouthy out there, and I think he just baited somebody into doing something not very smart, but at the same time he put a good acting job on top of it. Looks like they are discussing it, though. They may pick up that flag.
Yeah. It looked like it was like a bang-bang call because right whenever the Morgan hit him, the whistle was just blown, so I don't know if they're going to wave it off or not, but just see what happens.
The side judge is over here talking to Coach White, which usually means he's explaining why his guy was flagged. So it looks like they are going to give it to him. give him the flag. That'll supersede the initial penalty because it's a personal foul. We'll get the official word here. They're actually both on the defense, so it doesn't matter. They decline the 5-yarder, take the 15-yarder.
So the initial penalty was waived off, and then the Trojans are going to accept the personal foul. So I would give the Trojans a 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line.
Bad break for the Dragons. Maybe we'll see him come out and get some stops now and get that back.
Yeah, they need a stop here. They need to get that Potosi Trojan offense off the field and get that momentum back on their side.
Handed to number 28 again, and the Dragons stop him. Great job by the defense.
The defense flowed to the ball that time and really got to the ball quickly and really gave the running back no holes to cut back into. So that's just how you play defense there.
Potosi lining up again, and it's handed off to number
ball
5.
out. Looks like Peaches got his hand on that one and knocked it free.
Great job by the defense.
For those of you who don't know who Peaches is, that's Morgan Shank. Number 56. I didn't see who recovered the ball, but I know Peaches got his arms on the ball.
That was a great job by Morgan. He looked pretty pumped up after that play.
Not sure who recovered it. We don't have a 87 on the roster, but it kind of looks like it might have been Levi Gons.
Yeah, Levi, they switched his number this week so that he would be eligible to play the tight end position.
So yeah,
that was Levi.
That was Levi.
There's a nice little 4-yard run there, and again, we're just not getting the big play, but we're moving the ball and keeping those chains moving after 2 or 3 plays each time. So this is the kind of thing that wears the defense down, and we'll see what happens here at the end of the 3rd quarter into the 4th quarter. Right now, the score is 21-6 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Handed to Anthony Rowe. Gains a couple more yards for the Dragons.
The Dragons offense is doing a great job at really running the time down, but also making sure they get the first down and move the ball down the field. So they've really taken a chunk off the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they've had the ball almost the entire time here in the 3rd quarter. So that's been kind of their MO all through the years.
Toss to Anthony Rowe, and he should be just short of a first down. Be about 4th and 1 left for the Dragons.
Wouldn't surprise me if they go for it here.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to see them go for it. Maybe line up in that punt formation, but it looks like they're just going to go straight ahead here. Line up in that split back formation that we've seen all night and say, here it comes, see if you can stop it.
Give him to Brewer, and he gets it.
Great play call there.
Yeah, very quick hitter that time, and that was the inside veer, and he just did no playing around, just went straight to the line of scrimmage and was through the line before anybody even got a hand on him.
When you have strong runners like Anthony and Austin, I mean, you can do that every night on a 4th and 1 or third and short down, and you can get the first down almost every time.
And Brewer's hit right as he gets the ball, and it looks like the ball came loose.
But it looks like
right before he went out.
Wyatt Lallmandeer might have recovered that. Great heads-up play by Wyatt.
Yeah, it was good hustle, getting over there and diving for the ball just to save it. And hopefully the Dragons can get that loss back. Bombardier gives it to Rowe, who is just powering his way through, getting himself to the outside. Looks like he might have slipped a little bit as he was trying to stiff arm Potosi's defender.
That's
Great.
how,
Go ahead.
that's how you basically draw that play up. You give it to Anthony, let him lower his shoulder and get those yards, and if he can break one away, it's always a great thing whenever your players break a really good run there.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many of those runs tonight. Hopefully we'll see a little more from Anthony and Austin. Brewer gets it.
I kind of seen a great read by Wyatt because he saw that the defensive tackle moved outward towards that corner. So it basically gave that hole right up the middle up. So he just had to give it to Austin and let him go right through the hole for a good game.
Wyatt hands it off to, hands it off to Rowe and leads him through the hole, and Rowe picks up a couple yards.
Yeah, that time that was that little G sweep again where Wyatt gets out in front of Anthony as a lead blocker, and for some reason Wyatt came out deep and almost looked like a handoff, but he actually pitched it from about a foot away. So dangerous there. It's an easy way to cause a fumble. So hopefully Wyatt can fix that little footwork error that he just made there and not do that anymore.
Pitches it to Brewer.
There's that play
And
again.
Yeah, looks like the same play, just to the other side. And Brewer's taken down by about 3 Trojans. Just enough for the first down. So it was a great run by Brewer. With 45 seconds left in the third quarter, it's 21-6. Let's see if the Dragons can extend that lead.
Yeah, Morgan Shank's really dominating up front right now, and he is he's the guy when they're kicking out sometimes, and sometimes on that veer he's just bowling straight ahead. He is just manhandling whoever's in front of him.
Brewer once again trying to power his way through. Looked like he really wanted that one. Just got tackled by about another 3 Trojans once again.
I got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They're making some really key blocks and allowing their runners to get some pretty good space.
And Dragons got a second to get this off, and they do. As time expires. And it's a touchdown. Anthony Rowe gets it in.
Took him a while to make that call.
Great job by the Dragons. Just got the snap off in time. Hands it to Anthony Rowe. And Anthony pushed his way in for another touchdown. It is now 27-6. Dragons on top as the fourth quarter is now starting. Got Giesler kicking for the extra point. And it's good. Great job by Giesler. It is now 28-6. Dragons on top. It's really a great job by the Dragons the second half. They really came out and they look like they want to play now this half. And hopefully they can keep it up.
Looks like the Trojans might have came out a little bit slower than what they did in the first half. So they probably weren't expecting St. John to come out this strong at the beginning of the second half. So great job by the Dragons to go ahead and get after it and get that score on the board.
Yeah, it looked like in the first half it was Potosi that had all the momentum going their way, and then the second half looked like the Dragons went into halftime, maybe changed a couple things up, and they came out strong, and now the momentum looks to be on their side.
And the Dragons had the ball for most of that third quarter, so that's been mainly what they've been trying to do this entire time, is try to keep the ball on their side for as long as they can and score and not allow the Potosi offense to get back on the field and have a chance to score.
Yeah, the Dragons are doing a great job of running the clock tonight and keeping the ball out of Potosi's hands. That's, I think, what's impressed me the most about the Dragons tonight is their ability just to have the most ball possession and run the clock down.
We do have a couple updates from around the area as St. John gets ready to kick off here. Almost missed it again, but I caught it just in time. Kennett and Central are tied in the third quarter, 21-21. Farmington is up 33-0 over Hillsboro. Valley 63-7 across town at St. Vincent. Those are the MAFC scores for you there. And statistic-wise, Coach Coleman, since I can't figure out how to work it, has come up to share these with me. And Rowe is the leading rusher. He's got 119 yards on and 2 touchdowns. Austin Brewer, obviously, is our second leading rusher. He has 15 carries for 82 yards. So again, they're really close to each other, 24 yards separating them, just 2 carries. Wyatt has 23 carries on, or 3 carries for 23 yards. And we have no completions, just as we suspected, and at least 5 drops. So those are our offensive leaders going into the fourth quarter here, and it's 28-6 with 11:50 to go here. See if the Dragons can kind of shut them down.
It looks like the Potosi offense kind of went to a shotgun trips right and went a little bit of a quick pass over to the sideline to give the receiver a little bit of space to make a play happen.
Yeah, Potosi's doing a lot more passing. And Luke Brewster is there to make the stop for the Dragons. Great job by the sophomore Luke Brewster to get there.
Little hit screen there to the outside, and I think they thought they had an advantage there speed-wise. They were wanting to get 22 isolated, but Luke Brewster had nothing of it. He was very physical, came up aggressive, and stopped him before he was ever able to get a start. So good play there by Luke.
Luke made a great read on that play and really worked on that flat coverage and got up there and made that great tackle.
We got quite a look here. We got 3 receivers on both sides. 2 obviously.
Oh.
Not all 3 are eligible. They call that the ace formation. Kind of looks like 3 different A's. So
And
the 2 inside guys on both of those strip sides are ineligible because they're covered up by another receiver on the outside.
looked like the pass may have been a little overthrown. And Gabe Grimminger almost had the interception. Looks a little disappointed in himself, like he should have had it. And it just went right through his hands.
Luke Brewster is back for the punt return.
Yeah, he's only standing about 25 yards, 30 yards, I guess, from the punter. So they had him play just about perfectly, and Brewster gets it to the outside.
And he's still going. Brewster with a great punt return. Gets it to about the 45. And he just took off with that ball.
And again, I'm busy trying to do Trevor's job, and I'm not doing my own. Sorry about that. That was the first time this half that I missed the play, I think.
And Lamondier gets a snap, and he fakes it. And he's still going, gets to the outside, and he just takes off. And that's a touchdown for Wyatt Lamondier. Great job by Wyatt to get to the outside and just take off. When he gets to the outside, he just turns on his jets, and almost nobody can catch him then.
He did a really good job of riding that the runner with on the veer play as long as he could, and then pulled it out and completely had everyone faked on the defensive side. Well, thought somebody was going to catch him, but then powered through and turned on the jets and got to the end zone.
It's now 34-6 with the Dragons on top with 10:44 left in the fourth quarter. And we'll have Dalton Giesler kicking the extra point. And that's good. It'll be 35-6 with the Dragons on top.
This game is almost a mirror image of the first time these two teams met. Very tight in the first half. Two teams kind of traded field position and had long drives, but weren't able to capitalize a lot of times. And in the second half, St. John's kind of imposing their will a little bit. Wyatt broke off a couple big runs in the second half of that Potosi game the first time around, and up until that run, he had 3 carries for 23 yards, and now he just broke one for 46. So that'll improve your average rapidly, breaking off runs like that. That Central Kennett score is interesting. We obviously will play the winner of that game here, no matter what. That game will be hosted by us. We've played Central once already this year, beat them by 3 scores. But they are the number 2 seed in our district. And Kennett has had a good year. They've got 2 losses on the season. And they came up here last year and beat us in the semifinals of the district. So actually the quarterfinals of the district. So
Yeah, and last time the Dragons met Central, they just played an outstanding game. They were just dominating offense and defense, and everything was going their way. The momentum was going their way, and it was a great game to watch.
Looks like the Potosi offense will go back under center.
Yeah, going back to that Central game real quick. You know, at the time we thought that was as good as the St. John team could play, but I think what we've seen over the course of the last 5 weeks since that game is that, you know, that's the team that we kind of expected at the beginning of the year, and we finally saw it, and it kind of took us by surprise. But I think they've shown us in the last few weeks that that's kind of their identity, and they have the ability to really take it 2 teams and play physical football and really push teams off the line of scrimmage, and that's what we're seeing here again in the second half tonight. First half was a little sluggish, but this is a team that's capable of kind of getting in your face and taking it to you a little bit. So hopefully we see that continue going forward and into the district championship game next week, assuming nothing crazy happens here at the end of this game that would allow Potosi to stage a comeback.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the year, the Dragons, when they played, they were getting a lot of penalties and just bad breaks. It seemed like they really got out of that habit of getting penalties, so it really helped them out towards the middle of the season and later on to now.
Yeah, it's tough to establish any kind of rhythm when you're constantly being penalized and the game's constantly being chopped up because the refs are having to intervene. So when you're moving the ball well and running the ball and you're playing clean football and you're not getting penalized, it really makes it easy to establish a rhythm and kind of impose your will on other teams.
Potosi on 1st and 10. Quarterback rolls out, hits 22 on a short pass, and is taken down by number 13, Gabe Grimminger, and number 16, Luke Brewster.
And Chad Dunsey on the camera. I got it all but the catch. Just missed a little bit of the catch.
So that's twice now this half.
I promise you can't cut my pay.
The St. John defensive backs are really trying to just let the quarterback make some shorter passes and not allowing those deep routes to be available.
And a fumble by Potosi. Looks like Potosi still recovered it. Gabe Grimminger almost got there, along with Austin Brewer. And that run was by number 5, Zach Price for Potosi. Kind of got caught up at the line, and then the defense kind of took advantage and got him down. It looked like he fumbled.
It's a big play coming up here, 3rd and medium, 3rd and 6. If we can keep him and hold him to a 4th down and force him into throwing the ball, something they're not real comfortable with. He's behind the line of scrimmage. That's a live ball, and that was definitely a lateral. They called it an incomplete pass.
So I'll make it 4th and 6th.
We have a
Looked like it was about
vehicle belonging to Roxanne Gibson.
looked like it was about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage or 2 yards behind the release point where that ball ended up when the official blew it dead. So 4th down here.
4th down now for Potosi.
And Potosi looks like they're going for it. Let's see if the Dragons can stop them.
Throwing another pass.
And getting some pressure on the quarterback. Great job by the Dragons. And Luke Brewster is there to hammer the Potosi receiver.
Good job there by the defensive backs. They had a couple receivers going deep down the field. They had him covered up, nowhere for the quarterback to go. And as he was scrambling for his life there, he found a little safety valve, and Luke Brewster was Johnny on the spot there to clean up the mess. So good job there by the defense.
And Luke Brewster, again, being so small, he can still pack a punch when he tackles people. He gets those big hits, and it just gets his team pumped up, and he just always there.
The defensive line does a really great job at getting in there and creating that pass pressure and getting in there and trying to get that quarterback sacked and making him get out of his comfort zone and really just interrupting the entire pass game for them.
Wyatt Lombier rolls out and hits Blake Moore on the pass. And I believe is that the first completion
That
of the
is
night.
First completion, 1 for 8 now for Wyatt. And as we've said all night, could be a lot more than 1 for 8. Had these receivers held onto the ball, but looks like we're going to see the second team offense now come on the field. Good job by that first unit, and looks like they'll live to play another week next week. And there's 8 minutes left here in the game, so it's not impossible that we might not see them again, but hopefully if the second unit continues to drive the ball and nothing crazy happens, they should be done for the evening.
Timeout. St. Genevieve.
And St. Genevieve calls the timeout with 7:50 left in the game.
We do have an update from Central. Central just took the lead. They went up 28-21 on Kennett, and that game looks like it just started the 4th quarter. So there is a change in score there, and I'm not sure who we want to play in that situation. Both teams pose different types of challenges, but we're just going to have to come ready to play regardless. Both of those teams are capable of beating us if we don't play well, and I think it's safe to say that if we play our game, I think we're more than capable of beating both of those teams. So just a matter of who shows up and who comes with the most heart next week.
Next week, if we have a defense like this, it'll be really tough for any team to get a offense going against our defense tonight.
Looks like we have sophomore Drew Toombs in at quarterback, and he hands it off to Camden Rowe.
You wonder that last pass there by Wyatt. You wonder if that was just kind of a confidence booster for him going into next week to get him a completion after the rough game that their receivers had tonight. But they were able to overcome it. Even good teams find a way to win. If something's not working, they find somewhere else to go. And passing is definitely not the forte of this team, but it's something that you need to be able to count on occasionally to get the pressure off those two running backs.
Toom tosses it to Wade Hahn, who is taken down for a loss of yards. The 4th down for the Dragons. Looks like we have 55 Nick Bowling coming in
Looks like
for number 60 Nick Robinson.
Drew Toombs will be punting for the Dragons.
Good punt.
Oh, it looked like Nick Bowling almost got hit by the punt.
He didn't know where it was. You're kind of at the receiver's mercy there to try to indicate where that ball, or to try to figure out where that ball is coming. But that the receiver was just kind of sitting there waiting, and what didn't come up to field it. And Bowling almost took one to the noggin.
That was a great tackle by Bryce Bonert. Really making sure that guy did not get to the edge and really turn that great punt into a good return. So great job by Bryce.
Potosi handing the ball off. See the pile moving a little bit. There's a gain of about 2 or 3 yards for the Trojans.
And we'll see how long we're trying to sub in our second team defensive players here. They kind of got a mix and match out there right now, first and second teamers, but they're trying to work the starters out of the game here on defense. So
The fake by Potosi, and quarterback takes it. Gains a couple yards for the Trojans, but is eventually stopped by the Dragons. We have 5:25 left in the fourth quarter.
I see quite a few sophomores in there right now on defense, especially on the left side. So, I mean, all of our sophomores are really good players. So, it's great to have a extended roster like this where you can have all your sophomores on the roster while they can still put up a really good fight, good enough to where they can play varsity every night, basically.
yeah, they've gotten a lot of time this year, especially in the second half of games, and it's good to see them get that experience. And it's also good to see these older guys, these key players here, getting a little bit of rest going into the district championship game next week. Looks like we came out healthy again, and that's always a concern in these do-or-die games. If you lose a guy with a sprained ankle or lose a guy with a knee injury or anything like that, you never want to see that at any time, but especially this time of year, it's just a killer to a team.
Yeah, because it seemed like last week we had a couple guys come out. I know Giesler came out and his calf was hurting a little bit. He had some ice on it. And Brewster at his hip was bothering him a little bit, so we didn't know how that would affect us this week. And they came out and played good tonight. And it is good to see that they didn't get hurt or anyone got hurt this week.
They played well tonight, Trevor. They played well. Mr. O'Brien would not be pleased.
I missed Google, but okay.
Yeah, that has to make Coach happy about letting those starters get a break before next week, so that, and still at the same time it gives the sophomores and other second team players a chance to play at the varsity level, so, and get their time in, and really it's just a good experience for them.
Yeah, and Potosi's keeping their starters in here, and I don't have any issues with that. They, a lot of those kids are seniors, and this is their last chance that they're going to have on a high school field. So, a lot of times coaches want to see twos against twos, but, in this instance, it's a little different story. So,
but that's also great for the second teamers and sophomores and everyone that's in there now. That gives them really good experience for the upcoming years to come.
Right, they're playing against varsity level players right now, so that's something more than they see on Monday nights and JV games. So. We're down to about 3 minutes here in the final quarter. And St. Genevieve prepares to advance on to the district championship next week against either Central or Kennett.
And Potosi's quarterback, pressured by the line, is taken down eventually by, looks like, number 8, Damian Kiefer.
I think that might be Blake Moore.
Was it number 9?
Yeah, I think it might have been Blake Moore. Yeah, number 9, Blake Moore.
And the football field at the conclusion of tonight's contest. Thank you.
With 2:45 left, Potosi takes the snap, and they're passing the ball.
Great tackle by Thomas Oder.
Pass completed to number 5, Zach Price. And like you were saying, Chad, that was a great job by Thomas Oder to get over there and make the play.
Real quickly, while they're huddling, we just want to thank again our sponsors, Fleeks Farm Equipment, Barley Automotive, Chamber of Commerce, Jay's Laundry and Linens, LJ Seahall, Lawasc North America, Global Green Insurance, Midwest Marketing, St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital, and Bloomsdale Excavating. It's been a great day at St. Genevieve, and capped off here tonight by the win, and we couldn't have done it without all their support. So thank you to those businesses for their ongoing support of our school and our endeavors up here.
You got to give the Potosi Trojans a hand, though, just because they hung in there and put up a pretty good fight and really actually kept our made our running backs work for their yards. So.
Yeah, I was really impressed with how they played, especially in the first half of this game. They really, they weren't able to shut us down by any means, but they were able, like you said, to make us work for it. And we didn't make any mistakes really. We didn't put the ball on the ground, and we got 3-4 yards at a time, and it took us a long time to score sometimes. But ultimately, our guys did what they needed to do, and we capitalized on most drives and put 35 points up on the board. So.
Yeah, Potosi really limited our drives tonight. They, instead of having quick drives with Brewer and Rowe running so far downfield, they were stopping them a little more and slowing down our drives, but that's good for us because that makes us run down the clock a little more.
That was a great pass by number 11, Jordan Herrera.
And Potosi scores again. It'll be 35-12 with Dragons still on top with a minute remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a little throwback pass there. Rolled out one way and then threw back across the field. And it's tough to defend, but at the same time, when you're up this big, you've got to be leery of letting those guys behind you. And we let one get behind us there. But the game's out of reach at this point. And again, that's your second teamers playing against the first teamers. So, it's good experience, but it's going to be a learning experience as well on that play. Somebody missed an assignment and allowed a score there. They are going to go for 2.
And he got in there. It was a big hit by the defense on that play. Looked like Wade Hahn. Or
2-point conversion was good, run by number 5, Zach Price.
Update from Park Hills. Kennett got the ball back with about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're at their own 20, so they got the length of the field to go, but they do have time to operate. And with that quarterback of theirs, they're more than capable of ripping off a couple big plays. So we'll keep you posted on that game and let you know how that turns out.
And Potosi got a good kick, and we had number 8, Damian Kiefer, who was back to return. And Damian is a sophomore, and that was a good run by him. He's a pretty small kid. So seeing him out there is good to get experience for him, and see him return that ball was a good return.
We want to remind you guys that the KSTK prep rally will be after the 10 o'clock news, so it'll be around 10:25. Probably will be the airtime of that. They did preview it a little bit on the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock news. So if you're interested in staying up or setting your DVR to watch that, make sure you set it for the 10 to 11 o'clock hour.
It looks like a fumble on the play by Wade Hahn. And it should be Potosi's ball.
There's 49 seconds left. It is a 21-point game, so the game's still not in jeopardy by any means. But it's frustrating to see your young kids come in and not execute maybe as crisply as you want them to. But at the same time, you got to realize that these kids this time of year don't get many reps, and their main job is to play scout team offense or scout team defense, and just prepare those older kids. So, you know, they're not going to be as sharp as what they might be earlier in the season, but it's still good to see them get those reps. Kennett just threw an interception, so it looks like Central score. Looks like they're going to be able to run the clock out, and so it looks like it's going to be a rematch, St. Genevieve versus Central right here at Dragon Stadium, just like it was the first time around, and we'll see how that turns out. I know we've improved a lot since that game. I'm sure Central has as well, so that'll be a fun game. That's become quite a rivalry over the last 7 or 8 years, so it's always fun when those guys come to town, and our kids, I know, gear up for that game, and they've kind of been the team to beat the last couple years as they've been able to go on and win the district title and go up against John Burroughs. And I know St. Jim would love to have that opportunity back and play them again this year.
Yeah, and we just gotta hope that if we have a rematch against Central, that our boys will come out hot again and get the momentum going their way, just like the last game, and hopefully they'll come out with a win next week.
Just to give you some final offensive stats as we watch this game, we've got a little sweep coming out here to the near side. But final offensive stats as he tumbles to the ground after making a few people miss. But Wyatt, 1 for 8 with 8 yards. As we said, that's very deceiving. That's not on him. That's on it. A lot of his receivers didn't play very well tonight, but they'll have a chance at redemption next week against Bark Hills. The rushing stats, Anthony Rowe led the way. He had 3 touchdown runs. He had 18 total attempts, ran for 148 yards. He had one of those was a 44-yard touchdown run. Austin Brewer also eclipsed 100 yards. He had 21 carries for 102 yards, so just shy of 5 yards carry for him. He had 1 touchdown run. Wyatt Lomadier, 4 carries for 68 yards, including that 45-yard touchdown run. Camden Rowe had a carry. Wade Hahn, had a carry. Blake Moore had the only catch for 8 yards. Potosi threw for 70 yards, including 1 touchdown there at the end of the game. So really, we shut down the passing game if you take away that one against the second teamers. They ran for a total of about 120 yards. So they held them to about 150 yards on their first team. So good defensive effort by St. Jen, especially their first teamers, and good running attack. Again, hats off to Potosi. A lot of seniors played their last game out there today for Potosi, and I think they can look themselves in the mirror tonight and tell themselves they played a pretty good ball game, because they really did play hard on the defensive end, and they were a little outmatched, but they played hard, they executed, and I'm sure their coach is proud of their effort. So defensively, Austin Brewer led the way with 4 tackles. Luke Brewster, 4 tackles. Each of them also added an assist. Brandon Henson, 3 tackles and assists. Morgan Shank, 3 tackles, 3 assists. He also had 1 tackle for a loss. Anthony Rowe, a couple tackles. Dowdy had a couple tackles and a few assists. So not one standout player defensively, but I think as a group they played pretty well. And we will let you listen into the school song here as the student body sings Loyal and True. All right, so that is Loyal and True by our student body, and we want to thank Trevor and Chad, who have filled in admirably for us as we've entered into district play, and we have to have our student broadcasters. So Chad and Trevor, any final thoughts before you head off?
Not that I can think of. I just want to say thank you for letting us do this, and it's a great experience, and hopefully we can continue on this.
Be back next week.
We'll be back next week. All right. We are going to stay here, and we're going to talk to Coach Wyke. And while we wait for him, I think Rob Coleman's going to come in, and he's got a season right around the corner that starts on Monday. And these 2 boys that are straddling me to either side are going to be at basketball practice Monday afternoon, I suspect, right, boys? And they're looking forward to it, and they know Coach Coleman's going to take it easy on them the first week and make sure they ease into the process. No heavy running, no defensive slides, none of that stuff the first week. All shooting and, play a little horse and maybe some half-court contests or something like that maybe. So
That'd be
anyway.
nice.
Yeah, maybe something a little easier.
They're all looking at me like, not so much. But anyway, here's Coach Coleman. And, gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate your help tonight.
All right, thank you.
Well, Coach,
how we doing?
Before we get started on basketball, pretty good game tonight. Not the most crisp first half,
Yeah.
but
I think you might have mentioned this, but really similar to the first time we played them. It was. I know I think we were up at this halftime, but the last game it was 13-13 at half, and we were able to pull away, and just kind of the same thing here. And I think we just continually doing what we do well, and that's wear teams out, especially offensively, pounding the ball, and then we break some, get some points, and our defense steps up just like usual.
yeah, I think Potosi's defense played pretty well in the first half, but like you said, they just kind of wore down in the second half. But anyway, we got our winter sports season kicks off on Monday. And you had a pretty successful season last year as a basketball program, and this year you lost a lot of kids, a lot of talent last year, but you got some pretty good kids coming back. So tell us a little bit about what you expect this year from your team.
Yeah, last year I thought we had a really good season, very competitive with teams that usually we're not as competitive with. The teams like Poplar Bluff, Sykeston. We were able to play them really close. Just unfortunate we came up a little short in our districts against Potosi, who, obviously had a great team, and but it was a good group. Like you said, we lost 4 seniors, and it's going to be hard to fill those roles. I mean, even though maybe not all 4 of them were great scorers or maybe our best players, but as a whole, those guys were great leaders. We had a lot of kind of length and a lot of size, but we got a good group coming back. Gabe Grimminger. At the point guard spot, was lucky. I guess he was lucky enough, not for us. Clayton Mueller got hurt there, but it allowed Gabe to step in and prove that he could get the job done and kept that spot. And so I think when you bring back your starting point guard, good things should happen. I mean, he's small, but he does a really great job. And then we also bring back Morgan Shank, who you can see on the football field is quite the specimen, and then a big kid inside. It's going to be tough for teams to handle. And then, Nathan McClin is another senior that we're going to bring back, and he was kind of a role player last year coming off the bench. But to me, I think might be the wild card. I think some teams are going to you wonder where he came from, because he's a guy that really just does a little bit of everything. He's going to rebound. He's a really good defender, attacks the basket, can shoot. So I really look for him to kind of be our standout as far as guys not realizing what he's able to do. And then we have another senior, Anthony Rowe, who didn't get to play last year, and so he'll be a big plus. I think it'll take him a little while, kind of like the football season. Took him, I think, a little bit to get going, but I think he's just, obviously the athletic kid that he is. He's going to help us. And then Zach Rhodes is our last senior, and he's kind of that bruiser inside and was kind of a role player last year that'll need to step up. And then we have Trevor Drury and Dalton Giesler, two juniors that dressed out the varsity last year, didn't get a ton of playing time. But are kids that I know that are going to fill some spots. So depth a little bit, I think, worries me. Some sophomores are going to have to step up. But overall, those seniors and juniors we have, I think, can be a really competitive team.
Yeah, it's been exciting to watch you guys the last couple of years. This hasn't been known as a basketball town or a basketball school, and you can kind of start to see at those lower levels. You're starting to see some of that AAU or that off-season stuff kick in, and the kids are really picking up a basketball more than 3 or 4 months out of the year, which was kind of not the norm there for a long time. So it's exciting to see the growth of basketball in this area, and you've done a great job with the program. And
it takes a lot of work from not only myself, Coach Robinson, and Coach Kraft in the high school, but our middle school coaches, Weiler and Toombs, and then like you said, these AAU, these young teams, the parents or other guys. I've got guys that played for me, Carl Grass, Brock Meyer, guys like that are stepping up and taking some of these teams that we're trying to create, and so it really takes everybody to kind of build, I believe, a program, and I think it's growing, and we have parents calling, wanting kids on teams. We're not really out there searching as much as we used to, and then also in the girls, you see that the same way with the girls teams at the younger levels, and the AU teams are starting. So we hope overall, just as a school, like you said, basketball can, be a sport that, our school is proud of and continues to compete, and hopefully, in the future can win something and really put our name out there.
Yeah, it's an exciting time this time of year as one season wraps up, and you get to see this playoff type competition this time of year for these. But then at the same time, you got another season ramping up, and a lot of these kids are going to go straight from football to basketball. But you're only young once.
Yeah, it's I know as a basketball coach, practice is going to start Monday, and I'm not going to have a lot of these guys, and it can be tough. But I always think that success breeds success, and these guys being successful on the football field or wherever it may be. These guys are winners and learning how to win, and that will correlate to basketball. Will they come in a little bit out of basketball shape and not have as much time to prepare for our first game? But it's a long season, and so that those things will come. And I guess just the biggest thing, you talk to most basketball coaches, as long as the kids are healthy when they show up, that's what we really want. And so I hope these guys keep winning. I think they have the potential to keep winning, and definitely Park Hills. Looks like the next week, and then we know we can win that. It's not going to be easy, but and then hopefully they can move on and keep going. So it'll be great for us. Me and Coach Robinson talked about we'll have. I think I'll have about 5 sophomores, juniors, and seniors there, and so they'll get a lot of reps, which is good. And then it allows us to spend a lot of time with our freshmen. I mean, the guys that is new coming in. So it can be, a plus just to have that time to really work with those young kids.
Right. Yeah, it's always good. You hate to lose those kids, but at the same time, those young kids need to be kind of worked into the system, and especially the ones that you're going to count on the varsity level. And so we look forward to watching you this year. And as we wait for Coach White to get up here,
I appreciate it.
We got Coach Toombs. We got Coach Toombs out here on a mic. I don't think it's on.
It's not.
Oh,
Hey, there he is.
There he is.
Hey,
Hey, Coach Toombs. How's it going, man?
good. Going real good.
How's your middle school season looking?
We kick off on Monday, so we've got a group back that Coach Weiler will have in the 8th grade that is a scrappy bunch that works really, really hard. Probably all my years of basketball might be one of the most coachable groups that I've ever had. So the kids are going to work really hard and try to pick up skill and get better every day. And then the 7th grade group has got quite a few kids that have played a lot of AAU, as you guys talked about earlier, and so hopefully there'll be some good things. We got some quickness, got some guys that have some pretty good size also. So, in 7th grade basketball, more of that is about teaching fundamentals. I tell the kids from day one, and I tell them every game, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game as long as they got better and they learned something. And that's kind of the way we approach every day in practice and every game we have, especially at the 7th grade level, is picking up those fundamental skills to make themselves better. Because I tell them, we're not preparing for the 7th or 8th grade season. We're preparing them to be basketball players for Coach Coleman here at the high school and varsity level.
Yeah, and it's great to see how you guys work together. And I know you guys implemented a lot of the varsity play, but I mean, obviously a watered down version of it.
Absolutely.
But there's obviously a lot of communication there, and Coach Coleman voices what he expects and what he wants those guys to know when they get to him, and the chain kind of continues, and it gets a little bit more intense and a little more elevated each and every level they go through. But obviously they're very prepared by the time they get to him, because last year, I tell you what, if I would have looked at that group of seniors when they were in 6th and 7th grade, I would have thought, not going to be a great basketball team.
Yeah,
but they won a lot of games, and they really did themselves proud. So
Yeah, I think one thing that we're doing much better on the lower level, and even ourselves, is just the fundamentals, preparing these guys. The footwork, I always say, everybody plays games. This AU stuff is good for kids to have a ball in their hand, but the thing is, everybody does it. To me, it's the kids are the ones that will, those fundamentals, the shooting, the dribbling, that are going to work on those things is what takes them above and beyond other people. Game situation is one thing, but if you can run a play, you know how to play. But if you can't put the ball in the basket, you can't dribble it, you can't pass it, then it's tough to be successful. And I think these guys at the lower levels are doing a much better, good job of that.
Yeah, and I think it's also important that we incorporate terminology. Terminology can be one of those things that, especially at the middle school level, 7th and 8th grade, that they need to know where the baseline is, the wing. They need to know what a flare is. They need to know what a curl is, and those are things that I've picked up here from Coach Coleman that are things that we really drill at the middle school level.
yeah, it's important that everybody kind of understands the verbiage, and if it doesn't change, it's that much easier once they get to that next level. But well, as we wait for Coach White, we got a big game coming up tomorrow, or next week, I guess. We'll bounce back to football, but there's a rematch of a game that we had earlier in the season. We won by a few scores. We really played well. I think that was kind of our coming out party, and at the time, I think a lot of the talk was that was as good as we could have played, and this is as good as this team can be, but. After watching this team now for 4 more weeks, I think they've continued to improve and get better and better and better each and every week. And, what are your guys' thoughts going into next week's game?
Well, I think physically we came out the first time, I think, and maybe surprised Park Hills. Because usually, when I watch Park Hills in the past, they are probably the more physical team, and I think that's what our guys did a great job of last time, especially on the defensive end. We just didn't give up much, and I know Morgan Shank was a guy that I believe stuck out in that game and just did a great job. And so I think the big difference is I'm sure Park Hills is going to be ready for that. I don't think that again, maybe we surprised them or maybe we're just that much better. But I do think it's going to be a much tougher game for us, and we've got to do a better job, I think, early in the game than what we did tonight. I think if we play kind of the way we did tonight at the beginning, then Park Hills gets on top, and it can kind of be a whole different game. And so early in the game, I think whoever gets that kind of lead and gets the momentum going might be the one that finishes on top.
Yeah, I completely agree with Coach Coleman there. The key is coming out and expressing that physicality like we did the first time. And I know they didn't run the ball a bunch. I know they throw the ball around, and that was one of our better games in pass coverage and using our secondary and playing real good. And we also made the quarterback, the Bridges kid, scramble quite a bit with the guys up front. And you're going to have to do those same things, because I anticipate they're going to come out with some new things in their arsenal, some new lineups, some new spreads that maybe we have or haven't seen. So I know these guys will definitely, the coaches' staff will definitely have them ready. That is one thing that I think we did surprise them, is how physical we can be. And I also think that was, after we got going this evening, I think that was pretty apparent too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think our pass defense, I mean, it was good that game, I thought. We had pretty good coverage on a couple of those deep balls that we got beat on. But they were just exceptionally executed plays by Park Hills. But, you take a couple of those plays away, I think that was a pretty one-sided contest. So I think our pass defense has continued to get better since then. So if we can, take that big play away from them, I think Park Hills has a lot on their plate in preparing for us. And, obviously going into the game, I think we're the favorites. But, it's all about coming out and being ready to play and being capable of executing to the level that everyone thinks you can. So
yeah, and I'm sure Park Hills is going to come, with that revenge factor. They know they didn't, in their minds, they probably didn't play real well and can definitely play better. And I know for sure that we won't be taking them lightly, and that's what the coaching staff will be doing all week. Is you guys beat them once, but we've said in athletics, and we've all coached for a long time, that the more times you play a team, the harder it gets to be able to beat them. And you start playing another team second and 2 and 3 times, it can get really difficult to, they start seeing what you do well and scheming against it. And so it's going to be an interesting ball game, I anticipate. I don't know if that game has gone final yet. I haven't.
I think it did.
Okay, yeah, I see that now, 28-21. So it will definitely be Park Hills. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations too where the last couple of years, Park Hills has won the district, and we've been kind of left sitting on the sideline and having to watch them as they move on. And it would be nice to get that chance at whoever comes out of that district, most likely John Burroughs again. And last time we played them, it wasn't a real strong outcome, but they had a
pretty good player.
They had a pretty good player, a Heisman Trophy candidate on their team. So I'm sure they're loaded with talent again. But I think I think, like we talked about earlier with our physicality, I think we're a little better equipped to handle that stuff.
And I think our depth, it probably comes into play with Park Hills. I know they're a little bit young in a lot of spots, their skill spots, and I think we do have some depth probably that especially on the line. It seems like I think we maybe got 2 guys that are playing both ways really at this point on the line, and that makes a big difference. And even we've got maybe not the running backs really to step up, but on the defensive end, I think we've got a good second group that can go out there and too. So
and we got guys that can spell Austin and Anthony, which is huge, because they're going to be workhorses, and fortunately there's 2 of them, so you can split it up, but they're still going to get 25 carries a game each in a game where they're going to have to play an entire 4 quarters. So
it should be exciting. Well, I'm going to get out of here.
Okay.
And, I think it looks like Coach White will be here in a minute. He's over in the next booth, so I appreciate you having me up.
Hey, no problem. Good luck with your basketball season.
All right, thanks.
And that's Coach Coleman, and we appreciate him stopping in and filling some time here. And he's got, Coach White's doing an interview, and he's got another one yet before then. So we'll try to get a taped interview for him before the next game starts, and that'll give you a preview before the district championship game starts. And we thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your support for our young guys that we had here in the broadcast booth. And I apologize for my lack of camera working ability, because I was a rookie at that, so I'll try to get better, but again, I'm sorry. But anyway, thank you all for listening, and again, thanks to all our sponsors who helped us out tonight with the tailgate. Thanks a lot.